How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about my winter refresh predictions, as well as, I guess, my ratings refresh predictions. We're going to be going over these blue cards that you see right now on the screen, and then we're going to go over the gold cards that I think are going to end up getting upgrades. Now, I don't know exactly when the promo is dropping. We haven't gotten any information, but I'd imagine it'd either be this Friday or next Friday. Without further ado, let's get into it. So our first card of the day is going to be Ben Davies. Not the Spurs one, guys. Not the Spurs one. The one that went over to Liverpool from Preston. This selection for this winter, it really was not great, guys. Last year we had a decent selection, but this year it's been pretty dead of a window. And unfortunately, it means the cards are likely going to be just kind of players that we have not seen get any really special cards at all this year. And they're likely going to be pretty boosted. But next up we have Dembele. This is one of the few cards that actually did transfer over that I liked. He went over from Lyon to Atletico. I think this is going to be a fun one, especially being French. I think he'll be a really decent card, and a winter refresh for him would be really, really sick. Next up we have Papu Gomez going over to Sevilla, and we have a lot of good La Liga cards coming out. This is going to be a super fun card. I think his special cards already are really, really sick. I don't know if you guys have ever used him in game, but he is literally he is Messi, and Messi is just nothing. He's not good in this game, but this guy, he plays like Messi should. He is insanely quick already, and I think a really sick boosted card could be huge. Next up we have Yovic. Obviously we all saw what happened in Madrid. He became a nobody, went back to Frankfurt, and ended up getting an inform there. I think he's going to be one that gets a card. Yovic hasn't really had any special cards this year, aside from the one inform. I mean, you probably barely have even heard of him since, before the window even happened. So next up we have Kobach from Liverpool. He had a really dreadful debut for Liverpool, but last night in the Champions League he had a really good game. He's going to be a card that I think will be fairly fun to use. Maybe he gets a little bit bigger of a boost, but I think he's going to be a really, really sick card, and I think he's one that's for sure going to get it. Ben Davies, I'm a little on the the edge for, but I think Kobach would be a really good Liverpool card for people to kind of get. Next up, and probably one of my more favorite cards that could be in this promo, Sammy Khadira moving over to Hertha Berlin, meaning you guys can link him back to Bundesliga squads. This is going to be a really, really fun card to use, I think. He's already got really decent stats as is, and I think a nice big boost, and if not, maybe EA give him an even bigger boost. I think he could be a really, really fun CDM type card to use. Hopefully we see something like this in the game, but he did move over to Hertha. Now, the next one, another Bundesliga card, the left back Kolasinac from Arsenal moving over to Schalke. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the team names, but he's going to be just a decent left back card, I guess. He's got really high physicality, which is cool. But, he's just going to be your basic promo card, guys. Next up, we have Messi, or Lingard. Lingard obviously had a really good, West Ham debut. He scored, the 2 goals. This is going to be a card that I think EA will include just for the memes and the trolls. But he actually could be a decent player. Not that he'll be any, endgame meta, but it would be nice to see a little Jesse Lingard special card. I don't think we've gotten one in probably, 4 or 5 years. Next, we have Minamino after his transfer from Liverpool to Southampton. Again, the transfers are very, very limited this year, and I'm fairly certain that I got most of them, so, we're not looking at the greatest team, but Minamino could be a nice little card for, some of you more low-budget guys, and people just starting out. I think this promo will be really good for if they kind of lower these ratings. Not to mention, I don't think we've ever seen a special card for, Minamino that was actually usable. And finally, or maybe not finally, I don't know if there's another card after this, we have Odigar. Now, this is going to be a card that I think is going to be huge. I think he's going to be one of the stars of the promo. Obviously, he moved over to Arsenal. Now, it's a little weird because he does actually have a ones to watch too. He got it for going back to Real Madrid. Does he get this card? I don't know. I think he should. I think it'll be a fun one to see. Obviously, this year we haven't seen him get as many special cards as he did for Sociedad. Mainly because, the play time just wasn't there really for him. But I think at Arsenal he's going to succeed very well, and I'm excited to see a nice Odigar card come out in the game. And now this one is the last one, Ozil. I hope this guy gets a card. I feel like it's been so long since we've really seen, an Ozil special card, and I hope he plays well too on his new team. But, it would be really, really nice card to kind of have in the game. Obviously, the links would be very bad, but it is what it is. Now, if you guys did not watch my investment guide video, the way ratings refresh works is essentially EA kind of boost up gold cards that have gotten bigger boosts. Now, they do actually update some of the cards in kickoff beforehand, and we've seen some of the cards actually change already. So this prediction is kind of cards that have already changed and should get in. Now, last year EA did a +3 thing where only guys who got +3 boosts ended up being in this promo and getting a new gold card. But for the sake of just the content, I'm going to include cards that I think should probably get it and by EA's standpoint would allow it. Like Lewandowski, for example, he's one that probably should upgrade to a 92 gold card, but EA won't allow that just because he's already pretty high. So I took that into consideration too. Let's just get into it. So the first one is Boa Tang. He was actually updated in the database from 82 to 84. I think he's obviously one that could get in. You know, he's kind of been more quiet in recent years ever since, you know, Messi, you know what I'm talking about. After Messi happened in that Bayern game, you know, he hasn't been the same since then. But next up we have Bruno Fernandez. The guy has been going off. I mean, look at all the special cards he's gotten this year. 87 to an 88 I think would be a fair, you know, change for him. Is there really much more to say? You guys know he deserves it too. Next up we have Phil Foden. He actually in the database has gone from a 79 to an 81. He's played very well for City this year, and I could see him getting a little bit of an upgrade. Now, I don't know how he'll have an 81 rated card with those stats. That's a question for EA though. Next up we have Goretzka, another Bayern player who's been playing insane this year. I think he's going to move from the 84 to an 86. You know, he should be a really fun gold card to use. Now, I know it's kind of a stretch putting him in at bullet stats as a base card, but I do think, you know, he's going to have mainly 80 pluses on all his stats. He should be a really fun card. Next up, Jack Grealish. Now, this is actually a guy that I think will get in no matter what, because he has in the database has gone from an 80 to an 83 for kickoff modes. I think he is going to be a guy who does get into this. He's had a really decent, you know, season so far. He's been good last year too. I do think he's going to go from the 80 to the 83. He should be a really cool one too. Next up we have Lozano. Now, I did push Lozano up to an 83. In the database, he is upgraded. I think it's 80 to an 81. But I do think he deserves to go up to the 83. And again, he has a ton of special cards this year. He's been really good for Napoli as well. I would like to see this card get a bigger upgrade. And he does kind of deserve it. Next up we have Laurente. I think he's going to go from 82 to 84. I think maybe I feel like I messed the rating up, but he's going to be one that does get an upgrade too. He has the +2 in the database too. So I do expect, you know, a card like this, he is going to be a pretty sick one because his stats are already pretty good as is. I think he could be a really fun card to kind of, you know, have in the game. Next up, we have the Aston Villa goalkeeper, Martinez here. He has been insane for Villa. He, in the database, has gone from a 70, is it 78 or 79 to an 81. I think he does deserve, you know, another card. He does deserve the upgrade. He's been a really good goalkeeper this year. Next up, we have Reyna. Now, Reyna in the database has gone from, I think it's, what, 65 rated? Or no, 68 rated to 75 in the game. So he's going to be one that will probably get an upgrade for sure. He did just have the future stars out. But he has the biggest upgrade so far I've seen in the database. And I think he'll probably likely get a nice little gold card here. And to wrap it up, Son. Son in the database is updated to an 88. Does he get in? I think EA will try and include a few new gold cards that could be cool. I think Son is a guy who probably should be an 88 too. He's been really good this season. But that'll pretty much wrap up this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys drop a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down below who you guys think are going to get a blue card. Who do you think deserves to get an upgrade? Again, these are just my predictions, but again, EA have updated some of these gold cards, so we'll have to wait and see. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new, make sure you guys subscribe. Till next time, guys. Peace.